Very good morning, students. Welcome to biology classes. Today we are going to see 12 science biology, and we are going to see the last topic of chapter number 6, that is the molecular basis of inheritance, right? We are left with the last topic of this chapter, and that is DNA fingerprinting, right? So we are going to complete this topic today, and then we will shift to the 11th chapter, right? So I'm gonna show you the PPT for it. So now you see, yes, so you can see here that we are going to see about the DNA fingerprinting. So DNA fingerprinting is a very quick way to compare the DNA sequence of any two individual, right? So the process of DNA fingerprinting is it's a particular process, right, in which what happens, we are comparing, right? If we compare the DNA sequence of two different individuals. So there are two different individuals, and those two of the individuals have different DNA sequences, right? So if we are comparing the DNA sequences of two of the individuals, then it is known as DNA fingerprinting, right? It indicates the sequences, right? That is what is the difference between the two sequences, and that is what the DNA fingerprinting. Then it includes identifying differences in some specific region in DNA sequence, which are called repetitive DNA, because in this region a small stretch of DNA is repeated many times. So here what it includes is, so the DNA fingerprinting, it includes the differences, it identifies the differences in some regions in the DNA sequence. So in both the DNA sequences, right, there is presence of some regions where the differences are observed, right? So the DNA fingerprinting, it identifies those differences in those regions of the DNA sequence, and that is called repetitive DNA. So there will be presence of the sequences which are often repeated, right, in the DNA sequence. So the DNA fingerprinting is going to identify those sequences, and because of presence of this region, there will be a small stretch of DNA which is repeated many times. So as it is repeated often, or it is repeated at a several time of intervals, so what happens, those are repeated many times. For this reason, that is known as repetitive DNA. Now, depending upon the base composition, length of segment, and number of repetitive units, satellite DNA is classified into many categories. Now here what you can see is that the depending upon the base composition, that means the formation or the binding or the joining of the corresponding base pairs, right? So that is what the depending upon the base composition, length of segment, that how much is the length of the segment of the DNA sequence, and the number of repetitive units, and to check whether how many repetitive units or repetitive DNA is present in that length of segment. Based upon these three things, what is there, the satellite DNA is classified into many categories. So there will be presence of so many different categories. Here two main categories are observed, right? The microsatellites and mini satellites, right? This you are going to study in detail in chapter number 11 and 12. Then the polymorphism in DNA sequence is the basis for genetic mapping of human genome as well as DNA fingerprinting. Then polymorphism, again polymorphism, poly and morphism, the morphism of so many genes, right? So if there is presence of different genes which are coding for different characters, then that DNA is said to be the polymorphic DNA. So here the polymorphism which is observed in the DNA sequence, that is the basis for the genetic mapping. So without the polymorphism in the DNA, it is not possible to carry out the genetic mapping. So to do the genetic mapping of the human genome as well as to do the fingerprinting, what we need is a DNA sequence in which the polymorphism is observed. The next is the technique of fingerprinting was initially developed by Alec Jeffrey, right? This fingerprinting, that is the DNA fingerprinting method, was first developed by Alec Jeffrey. This can be asked in the MCQ. He used a satellite DNA as a probe, so to high polymorphism was called variable number of tandem repeats, which is also known as VNTR. So here what happened? This particular Alec Jeffrey, what he did is he took the satellite DNA, right? That is previously we seen that a DNA sequence which is containing the repetitive units, right? So he took such satellite DNA as a probe, right? And also they used the high polymorphism criteria, and they produced a sequence which was said to be the variable number of tandem repeats, right? So variable number of tandem repeats explains about the formation of a DNA sequence which is containing more amount of repetitive units, right? See here, you can see is that this is the whole process of the DNA fingerprinting. So the first is DNA extraction from the cells in high speed refrigerated centrifuge, right? So centrifugation is the process of the separation of the to isolate DNA. What we use is centrifuge. So the first thing that comes is the DNA extraction from the cells. So first of all, the cells are isolated from like from the medium, and upon isolation they are going for the centrifugation part, that is a separation of the DNA, right? So at that portion, after centrifugation which is carried out, the DNA is extracted from the cell. So now not only cells but the DNA from the cell is also coming out. Next is the amplification of DNA content is occurred by the PCR, that is a polymerase chain reaction, right? So then amplification of DNA, that means the doubling and the duplication, simply we can say. So that occurs in the DNA. So not twice it doubles, but it doubles according to the cycles, right? So when you are going to see in 11th chapter the PCR process, at that time you will understand that how exactly the polymerase chain reaction occurs. So the second step which is taking place after the DNA extraction is the carrying out the amplification of DNA, that is PCR. The next step is the DNA fragmentation by restriction endonuclease. Now the DNA fragments are formed by the by taking the molecular scissors, and those molecular scissors are nothing but the restriction endonuclease. So with the help of these enzymes, that is the restriction endonucleases, this molecular scissor cuts the DNA into small fragments. So this is the third step. After cutting the fragments, it is going for the gel electrophoresis. That is a process in which what happens, the on the basis of the molecular mass or the molecular weight, what it does is the different strands are set into the different criteria. That means there will be presence of some base pair in that fragment, and based upon that they are separated from each other. So gel electrophoresis is also a process of separation of the DNA fragments. Next step is the double stranded DNA split into single strand. So next step is occurred that the double stranded DNA, it unwinds itself and it forms a single strand from the double stranded DNA. The next is the occurrence or the process of Southern blotting, that is the transferring separated DNA to nylon or nitrocellulose sheet. So the next point or the next step which is occurring over here is after the conversion of the double stranded DNA into single stranded, now this single stranded DNA is passed or transferred into the nylon or the nitrocellulose sheet, and this process is known as Southern blotting. The next process or the next step is the nylon sheet immersed in a bath having probes or markers. Now this nylon cloth or the nitrocellulose sheet, this sheet is being immersed, or this sheet is introduced to a medium which is containing the markers or the probes. That means they are going to use as the markers or the probes where the hybridization is going to take place. So there will be presence of the opposite of those DNA strands where the hybridization takes place. So some hybrid things are formed. Next step is the nylon membrane pressed on X-ray film. Right now, the nylon, that nylon sheet or the nitrocellulose sheet was already containing the single-stranded DNA. Then it was immersed, or then it was allowed or introduced in the probe or the marker. So it was attached. Now, after that, this nylon sheet is pressed on the X-ray film, and this process is known as autoradiography, right? So once it is pressed, all the bands are settled on the X-ray film. So after that, the next process which is occurring, that is the dark band develops at probe site. So wherever the probes are binding to the DNA site, what happens, those places are going to show the dark bands, and other where the probes are not binded or the markers are not binded to the DNA, there the light bands will be present. So wherever the binding took place, those all the places will be dark in color, or the dark band of these developed, right? So at last what happens, the probes markers are radioactively synthetic DNA complementary to VNTR. So we took what the VNTR, that is a variable number of tandem repeats. So here what they did is they took the VNTR, right, that is the variable number of tandem repeats. They took the cells that extract out the DNA. They did the amplification of DNA, that is the PCR. Then they formed the DNA fragments. After forming the fragments, they cutted the DNA into fragments through the restriction endonuclease. Then they did gel electrophoresis where the separation took place. Then the double stranded DNA was converted into the single stranded DNA. Then they did the southern blotting, that is the transferring of the separated DNA to the nitrocellulose or the nylon sheet. After that, this nylon sheet was introduced to a medium which was containing the probes or markers. Now these probes or markers, they do have some sequences which are going to bind to the DNA few sequence which is complementary, right? So वैसी sequence को वो bind करेंगे जिसका complementary होगा, right? So what happens upon the hybridization, that is the sequences in the VNTR binds to the probe. And for this reason, wherever it will bind, the X-ray film does not show the light bands, but it shows the dark bands. So wherever the dark bands are shown, at those places the probes have binded to the DNA sequence. So this is, through this way we can understand that how the DNA fingerprinting is taking place. And this particular probes or markers, they are radioactively labeled, and for this reason they shows they due to the presence of that probe or the marker, we can easily detect that at this particular place there will be the presence of the different DNA, or we can say the VNTRs, right? That is the repeats which are observed in the DNA sequence. So this is all about the last topic of the chapter number 6, that is the molecular basis of inheritance. So here we complete this chapter, and I hope you are very clear with today's topic, and I hope to see you again, right? So I hope you are very clear with today's topic, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.